All right, y'all, we're back. We're back for another episode of Love Island Games. So let us go ahead and get right on into it. Now, y'all know we got some new bombshells, and that's Sydney as well as Marvin. Now, for the people that do not know, Sydney is the ex-girlfriend of Isaiah. All right. We learned that they broke up roughly about a year and a half ago. So it seems like after season 4 ended, they did date for quite some time. So I'm like, okay, well, it didn't work out, right? He seems to be not so happy that she's there. Meanwhile, she seems to be super happy that she's there. So I don't know if she's happy because she gets to see Isaiah again, or if she's more so happy because she could potentially win this 250,000. Right, we shall see. Now, she did talk to the girls, and they were asking her like, "Is she here to get him back?" And she said she don't think that they'll be getting back together. She says she's really focused on winning. Like, that's her main focus. She did say that she feels like he's a good guy. He just made some dumb decisions, and one of the dumb decisions that he made was to cheat on her. So that is the reason that the two are no longer together. All right. Now, Johnny and Andreina are over there talking, and he's being a bit more optimistic, whereas she's stressing out because y'all know they are in the bottom. So they are vulnerable. Anything could potentially happen. So she's kind of losing it just a little bit. I understand because she's like, I'm tired of being at the bottom. But Andreina, girl, you really ain't got no fight in you. You really ain't. And I just kind of want you to come to terms with being at the bottom just a little piece. You don't got that fight in you. You just look good. You just look good. You're not one of those fighter girls. I mean, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they just haven't met your challenge yet. Like, okay, because I feel like you're gonna be at the bottom quite a few more times. Like Andreina, like I see you going home next week. Okay. Where we at? We on Tuesday, so I mean, you could be going home by the end of the week, but I'm gonna give you till next week. I don't think you're gonna make it to the finals. I just don't see you lasting that long. Although I do think Johnny likes you, I feel like Johnny gonna let you go at some point because it's about the money for him, and also Johnny got a child that he got to take care of. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure should you get eliminated on some situation like what they did on tonight, maybe he'll feel better because she eliminated herself, and thank God I didn't have to switch her out for another partner. So maybe we still could continue this once I get outside of the villa. But you just ain't got no fight in you. But I understand the frustration. So Andrea, she feels like she can't catch a break. Okay. And you can't either, girl. You can't catch a break, honey. Between you and Andreina, because girl, let me say that Andre stay at the bottom, don't you? Anywho, she says she's been stolen twice, and then she been vulnerable about twice. Ain't no telling how many times. So Miss Ma'am stressed out. I get it, girl. I do. Now you got Chris and KK. They are confused on how they're vulnerable over a lap dance. Like they are so confused as to how they are in the bottom over a lap dance. It is slightly a bit confusing, a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But then it also makes me think about your ego. And it's like, dang, you really think that much of yourself? Like everybody really just get turned on by y'all when you, especially you, Chris, when you walk past because you tall and you got some curly hair. Like, is that what's going on? Anywho, so Chris now tells KK that she's so fine, but keep in mind, before he went to go and have a chat with KK, he was over there chatting with Marvin. KK comes over. Marvin is getting to know KK, asking her questions and stuff, telling her how nice she looks. And then her and Chris walk off. And it seems like Marvin was about to follow them. And then I guess he got the hint to let them go on about their business. But baby, it wasn't long. It wasn't long before Marvin walked up there and stole KK from Chris to have a chat. So unfortunate, right? Now, when she was sitting there talking with Chris, though, she asked about Justine, because now she's seeing that Chris don't really like that Marvin was trying to make the moves on her or whatever, right? So now he want to show his little piece of jealous side. So she asked him about the kiss that he had with Justine, and he pretty much tries to talk about the kiss as if it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm like, I guess. Anywho, that's what ended up happening before Marvin came and stole her away. But Chris was seething though. Chris was pissed. Now later that night, Nicola and Isaiah, they got a chance to go to the hideaway. They got a night out over in the hideaway. I felt like the producers were wrong for doing this because I felt like y'all know they in a friendship couple. Why would you even send them to the damn hideaway? Now why would y'all do that? Right? But I mean, I feel like giving them the task that they ended up giving them was a great, it was good. it was great to make the moment less awkward, right? Because I don't think that Isaiah was really gonna get it in or do anything like that with Nicola. I ain't think so, but I will say this: when they got into the hideaway and they walked over to check out the jacuzzi, he had his arms around her with their fingers interlocked, and I said, "Oh, okay, you done got real comfortable with Nicola, huh? So what's going on here? What's gonna happen over here? What's that?" Right? So I don't know. Maybe he's growing to liking her a bit or something like that. Maybe it's that. Not sure, but yeah, okay. But all in all, they're over there. They're in the hideaway. Okay, they get ready to walk in. They do all of that. At some point, we see where Sydney and Toby are having a chat, and she lets him know that she's matured since she and Zay had a traumatic breakup. Since their breakup, she has truly matured. And the way Sydney came on this show, yeah, Sydney not over him. A year and a half. I don't think Sydney really over him. She was super happy to come into that villa, baby. I don't think she's all the way over him. But she will chat with Zay, she said, and see how he's doing. But she says she wants to win, so that's really her focus. Okay, Sydney. Now Sydney says that she is really intelligent and she's wise. I guess those are some hidden things about herself that people don't really know. And you crazy too. So anyway, so Nicola and Isaiah got a text. And in this text, they had to choose between two boys and two girls to duel. Right? They're gonna have to duel each other, and whoever loses, whichever girl, whichever guy, they will be going home being dumped from the island, right? Now Isaiah wants to put Johnny and Chris in because he feels like it's best for the game. So he's thinking strategically as a competitor, he's thinking about the game because Isaiah trying to get this money. Meanwhile, you got my girl, Nicola over here not really trying to do that because she got interest in Chris. So it's difficult for her. I do think they probably could have went with Johnny and Toby. I hate the decisions, the way that they made the decision, because honestly, um I don't think that Nicola's opinion was considered. I think Chris did what he wanted to do. So maybe what he should have did was, I'll choose the guys, or at least I'll choose the girls, since you're having a tough time choosing the girls, and I'll let you choose the guys. But at the same time, he kind of made the right decision, because it's like, listen, I'm trying listen, if I'm still gonna be in the game, I gotta think about the competitors. I gotta think about who I can and cannot beat based on some of the challenges we've already gotten so far. If it's all about the physical part, I ain't that strong. So yeah, both of them gonna beat me. I'm probably gonna have to get one of them out, right? So that's what it was. Now they get up the next morning and everybody wakes up. They see the duel ring like in the middle of the villa, and they like, what the hell going on, right? So they're all, now we about to have a duel. They get a text, they learn about the details and the duel and everything that's gonna take place. And Chris and Johnny were chosen, and KK and Andrea were chosen. Now I figured that, who did I say was gonna get picked? I think I said KK and Andrea were gonna get picked because I feel like Andreina, they wanted to give her a break. But Chris and Johnny, I think I was more so leaning towards Toby and somebody else. Maybe Toby and Johnny, but not Chris, because of Nicola's like and her connection with him. But I also understand Isaiah wanting to put him in because he's a threat on all sides. Because he's a threat because he could swoop in and steal my partner from me. Or or he's a threat as an opposite competitor, period. So I get it. Now Chris doesn't like him being put up and says they better hope that I don't win, because it's gonna be a whole different Chris, I'm telling you. I'm starting to think, when I watch this, when they show the person that's doing a lot of smack talking, that's typically gonna be the ones that's gonna go. Okay. Now I will say this. One first, I said this has to be the worst feeling ever, to know that you're having a duel, to know that you were chosen for a duel, and you have to literally sit around, ain't no telling for how long, until it's time for you to actually get in a ring and duel it out. Like that has to be completely nerve wracking, right? So Chris and KK are chatting, and she tells him how she is worried and she likes him, and she says everyone else is like second option to him. So she's just trying to reassure him in this process, I guess, should they win or something. So he says, "Oh, I'm gonna handle mine, so you ain't gotta worry about me. I'm gonna handle mine." And I was so confused as to why that was the response to what she said. I'm worried, I really like you, and everybody else was second choice. Oh, I'm gonna handle mine. You ain't gotta worry about that. Huh? Ah, okay. So Andreina tells Johnny that she can't be there without him, so he has to win. Andreina, you getting on my damn nerves. Just to let me. Is it just me? It may just be me. I may be the only one. That's okay. So I got a feeling that I said this wasn't Nicola's decision, but it was definitely Isaiah's decision. That's what I put in my notes. And we already kind of talked through that. Now they do return from the hideaway, and I say, yo, this was the worst reaction to people re-emerging from the damn hideaway. Everybody was like, well, I think Johnny was the only one that clapped. Everybody else was just looking like, what the fuck? Like, it was just like so much a Debbie Downer. I'm not used to people coming out the hideaway and it being like that. Even if they didn't hunch or nothing, it's usually some excitement. But everybody in the villa is on, they shook, right? So she says this was the worst feeling. She says, we argued a lot. When she goes over to have a chat near Chris and who else was over there? I think Kendall. Garby may have been over there. I think Andrea came over there. When she went over there to chat, KK was sitting there, but KK gets up and she leaves. And I said, KK, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I said, KK, if you mad, then it is what it is. If her ass is mad, let KK be mad. All right. Because you two understand how it feels because you had to be in this role. Now you see why how Solene felt. So if you mad, get your ass up and go sit by yourself. Who cares? So Isaiah tells the guys the truth that it wasn't a group decision to pick who they picked. He says that he tried to look at things from a competitor aspect, pretty much explaining why he ended up choosing Chris and Johnny. Kendall told him, "Listen, oh boy, pissed." I'm like, Kendall, you always say stuff to get a reaction out of folks. So he tells him that Chris is pissed. I think it was Kendall that said Chris was really pissed off, and Isaiah was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." Like basically, if it was me in that position, I'd be mad as fuck too, right? So Chris is just really upset. I felt like for me. KK and Chris were given every bit of sore losers. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be in their feelings about going up to be eliminated or, being vulnerable. But y'all just did this to somebody else a few days ago, right? You already know how this goes. I understand if you may feel betrayed by Isaiah, Chris, maybe a little piece, but are y'all even that close? I feel like you and Josh are closer. If Josh would have put you up, that would have been the ultimate betrayal, in my opinion, because when you had a chance to put him up, you didn't. So I'm just a little confused about all of that. Um, Yesterday or whenever I gave my review to you guys about the episode, the latest episode, when we learned that KK was likely that she was going to be vulnerable or whatever and probably put in the duel, I said I wasn't ready for her to go home. After seeing how she carried on, I said she can get the fuck on. I'm sorry. She can go. It's fine. It's okay. KK can go. It's okay. You had your turn. We appreciate you. You did a great job, girl. You could go. Now she's sitting over there by herself after she done walked off from Nicole and them, and she's telling herself affirmations and all of that. And she wouldn't let Nicola come sit with her when Nicola went to go check on her. She's like, "Can I sit with you? Can I talk with you?" She was like, "No, no, I don't want to talk right now. I don't want to be around nobody right now. I'm trying to get my head in the game. I'm trying to get focused." And I understood that too, but I was really like, are you really trying to get your head in the game, or you really just pissed the hell off the fact that your ass is vulnerable and you got to do this duel now, huh? So anywho, Nicola, she gets emotional. I knew she was finna go and cry in the bathroom. I just knew it. I knew her feelings were hurt, and I'm like, Nicola, baby, you ain't do nothing wrong. You did, even if you did vote for them, you did nothing wrong. You didn't have a lot to pick from. Andreina I probably would have made the same damn decision. Andreina already had been in the ring. We already know Andreina is weak. Okay. If I had to go up against somebody, chances are I'm probably going to beat Andreina before I beat a damn KK who's probably faster, or beat a Andrea who's probably faster too. Like, yeah, I'm going to put you two just up against each other. Like, I mean, it sucks, but I don't think that girl did anything wrong. If anything, I would blame Isaiah because this is what Isaiah wanted, not so much as what Nicola wanted, right? But it is what it is. Even if she did want this is what it is. So everybody getting their pep talks in and all of that. Now it's time for the duel to take place. So Nicola says that she didn't want Johnny and Chris to pretty much go up against each other. She wanted Chris and Toby, or Johnny and Toby. She never wanted it to be like that. And I'm sure she more so wanted Johnny and Toby. Now, she also talked about how she didn't want those two girls to go up against each other either, but she was limited on options, right? So Andrea's like, we get it, we understand, we know how this go. But then KK gonna tell her, I mean, I know what it's like, being in a power couple, and when you're in a power couple, you have power. Therefore, you can make a decision, and pretty much y'all chose us. So I'm sorry, I don't feel sorry for you. Baby, that's when I wanted Nicola to boss up. And I wanted her to suck them tears up and be like, all right, bet. Okay? Because you can only be hurt but for so long. You didn't see them crying and shedding no damn tears when they sent Soline them home. So I'm a little confusion. Yeah, nah, mm-mm, mm-mm. Mm-mm. Or I ain't gonna say when they sent their home, sent Soline them home, but more so when they chose Soline them to be vulnerable. They wasn't crying about that. So why are you? You did nothing wrong. You over there apologizing to them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And KK like, I'm sorry that I don't feel sorry for you. Like what? Bet. Okay. I'm sorry y'all feel how y'all feel. KK got on my damn nerves. Just a little piece. Um what else? So they got these four zones. They're in the ring. The ring has four zones, pretty much. Okay, you got your yellow side, you got your blue side. They're gonna have like a heavy weighted bag that's going to drop down. It's like a sack. It's gonna drop down in the middle of the ring, and then they got 45 seconds, right? 3 rounds. They gotta snatch it. Okay, make sure that you, when that timer goes off, that you have majority of that sack on your side of the color. Okay, on your side of the ring. Okay, and should you have it, then you win that round. You only get 3 rounds. So the best two out of the three is who's going to win and stay in the villa. The others gotta go. Andrea and KK was fighting for their life, baby. But Andrea was also wearing KK out. And I don't know if it was because of the height and the way that Andrea kind of hovered over hers. I don't know what it was, the difference, but Andrea did her thing and she won round one, round two. And it was sad to see KK go over there, crouch down, and get emotional about it. Chris watching her, he damn near got emotional. Everybody else getting emotional. I know Nicola got even more emotional to know that she contributed to sending her home, but it is what it is, right? So then, Andrea cried. Andrea cried the last time, when it came down to her realizing that America chose them to stay over Stoleen and Mert. So she's, it is what it is. It sucks, but this is the game, right? So Chris and Johnny go in round one. Johnny and Chris was doing that was a good one. That was a fucking good one. You hear me? That was good. I never expected to see Johnny and Chris go head to head so soon. I was expecting maybe next week, not this week, right? So they've only been there for about a week and now they're going home or so, maybe 2 weeks. But anywho, so John, like the way Chris had that thing and he was holding on to that over there in the very back corner, I thought Chris was gonna get that first round, but unfortunately, that second round, no, I think yeah, the first round Johnny ended up getting it. So when he did that, Andreina, her dramatic self falling all over the ground, and the reason why Andreina's like, I can't be in this game without you is because she knows she's weak. She knows she's weak and she needs a strong competitive partner because if she can't save them, he can. But also, you got to be able to do something, girl. Okay? Because you also could bring both of y'all down. But anywho, so round two happens and hey, listen, Johnny, they was handling it. They was handling it until Chris pulled this real dope move. I felt when the bag was being pulled over to Johnny's, he grabbed the bag, rolled over onto his side, right? And once everything was over, or at least was that round two? I think when Chris could have won that second round, I think whatever it was when they got ready to go into the third round, I think I'm telling it right. Whatever it was, um Chris broke his finger. He broke his middle finger. How ironic, right? Because he was holding on to the bag a certain way, and when he turned over, he ended up popping his arm, his finger, dislocating it or something, or breaking it or whatever. It was really sensitive to the touch. So because of that, he could no longer compete in the duel. Therefore, he need to go get that checked out. So he's not going to be able to compete in other challenges either. Damn near is what it seemed like. So they had to go off of the first round, and based on the first round, it was given that Johnny won by default. Okay. And that's just what it was. So the power couple is out, which is exactly what Isaiah wanted. Now, I'm not going to hold you. I probably would be mad at Isaiah, yes, but then you also got to just shrug your shoulders and understand that this is how the game goes. And based on the competitors in the villa, I don't really see Isaiah getting that damn far. I'll be surprised. He might surprise us though. He just might. But if you got a Josh there, y'all will be voting to get Josh out. But let me tell you, everybody that's left in the villa, I will be trying to get Isaiah X out next. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Isaiah will be the next person I will be gunning for to get the hell out the villa because if you can make such a strategic uh decision, and I see how you playing the game, and that's exactly how you're supposed to play the game. Let's not act like we're all friends here and we want to keep our friends type of thing. Like, nah, Isaiah played the game right, whether people like it or not. Let me get my competitors to fuck up out of here. And so now that I know that that's how you moving, then let me make sure when it come down to it, I'm finna vote you up out of here next. Cause I need to get you before you get me. All right. Let's be clear. Anywho, so KK at the end of the night before she leaves the villa, she decides to pull Nicola for a chat. She tells her that she doesn't have to be sorry, because Nicola kept saying sorry. She said, "You don't have to be sorry." She says, "You know, I understand it was a terrible situation, you know, for you to be in, and you know, none of the options are good, so I definitely get it." And I said, "KK, bye. Get your bags, bye, and go." Because you had the opportunity to understand where she was coming from earlier. You had the opportunity, and you over there looking at Solene and I'm like, why they so mad or whatever the case is. And girl, now you in that situation and you don't like it. So listen, you know how this go, you know how the game is, and just pack your bags and just go head on. Okay. I think producers wanted her to make sure she had that conversation with Nicola so she could wrap things up before she leaves. And that was good for her to do that for Nicola, I will say, because Nicola really didn't do nothing. She really didn't. She just played the game. She did what she was told to do. Like, you can't be that upset with her. So yeah, I do think that, you know, y'all did need to talk. I don't think KK apologized to her. But at least she needed that talk to know that y'all are good, in my personal. So Kristen up there talking about how we ain't seen the last of him and KK, so I guess they gonna continue to date outside the villa. And girl, we'll see, child, because you damn sure wasn't showing no interest in that girl when y'all was inside the villa. But okay, leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. That's all that I got on this latest episode of Love Island Games. I'm Jamie, that's me, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can feel the pool.